Hey everybody, welcome back. Did I mention that my wife likes pink? If I haven't already, you're about to find out. Before we get the calipers painted and show some more updates of the car, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, like if you enjoy this type of content. Make sure to check out this car's build sheet down in the description below. Make sure you are following us on Instagram, Tenza_Motorsports, where you will be part of any future giveaways. We have something coming up real soon. I want to say it, but it's been a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be. So we're going to be doing a giveaway. So make sure to be following us on Tenza_Motorsports. And make sure to be following this car's Instagram, Nikki_Nightmare46. So I got some VHT engine enamel. This will be plenty good for your brake calipers. I am not convinced that brake calipers really get that hot. I know they do get hot, and I know that if you just paint it with some regular, $5 spray paint, it's probably not gonna last very long. I used to do a lot of Plasti-Dip back in the day, and I actually got a bit of overspray on one of my calipers, and I left it there to just kind of see, if it's gonna actually have any issues. And the only thing I can say is if you're just driving your car down to get some food or something, come back home, you're probably not going to burn off most paints. Obviously don't do anything but this, but I just don't take it that seriously. The important part of this process is to clean the caliper up. So we've got some caliper clean. We'll be using that. I've got a brush, we'll scrub it down. I am not going to be removing the caliper from the disc or anything like that. If you get some spray paint on the disc, that just comes off as soon as you hit your brakes for the first time. Make sure that you don't have any overspray and take the wheels off, that kind of stuff. But I'm not gonna be, this isn't gonna be like some super crazy good job. It's just a race car. We're gonna get some on there, make it pink, and then we might be adding some vinyl to it later. With it being brakes, it's probably gonna get dingy and dirty anyways. And every time you go in there and you really wash it, you'll have issues with it flaking off. That's just kind of how it is. The paint that I have that you actually physically paint on, I don't really have any issues with that kind of stuff, but when you're doing spray paint, it'll eventually start to flake off. So I wanted to get this in the paint cans, like we actually use a paintbrush and paint it on, but I couldn't seem to find any pink. So I picked this up. I think this was like 15 bucks. This should be plenty enough to do all 4 brake calipers. And the other thing I do is because this is completely for cosmetics, is I'm not painting the entire caliper. I don't pull it off. You can, and that's how you should do it. But for this car, I'm just gonna make sure we don't have any overspray. We're gonna be painting basically the face that faces you. And then as the caliper starts to roll around to the backside, we'll get all that shot. But the backside, there's no real reason to get back behind there. Yeah, it's a little bit janky, but my race car doesn't have its calipers painted all the way around. I mean, there's no reason to it. Nobody sees it. So yeah, we're gonna get that done real quick. Let's go show what we've been up to and how much more together the car is. All right, the reveal, boom. The front bumper is on the car. Now, we did do rattle cans. I regret that. I should have done what I wanted to do, which was go and buy a gun from Harbor Freight, shoot it, and then throw the gun away when you're done because you paid 15 bucks for the gun. I was talked out of that by my local shop. This did turn out okay. I mean, it's so close that it's not anything you'd be able to see, but it was the cure time and the prep work for it. Yeah, anyways, I'm happy with the way it looks. You can see down here, the lip is not attached yet. I want to talk about that real quick. This lip that I've used on multiple cars in the past, the downside of this lip is that it doesn't fit the car's bumper. And I'm not sure what it is, but I think there's 2 different types of lips. I got lucky with my race car, it fit on there perfectly, but this one, for some reason, if you match up this side's like hanging out like over here. And if you push that in, it bows right here, it bows up, and then it bows the bumper down, and then I don't want to crack the new paint because it's not just a little bit, it's quite a bit. So what I've done is I put a little V in it. I measured back on my race car to see how far back you actually see. You see about 1 inch back, and then I added another like 3/4 inch. And then that way this will fit on the car and you'll never see that little V cut. So if you run into that and the company's either giving you problems about returning it or anything like that, just this is a fine option. You don't have to have a V that wide. I kind of went a little bit overkill because I just didn't know what all I needed. Again, mine's a race car. If you don't feel comfortable doing that on your daily driver, I completely understand. But the reason we did that is to fix this. So this was some body damage that was on there from when the car was ran into a curb, which is why the bumper was all cracked, because this got hit and twisted the bumper and everything cracked on it, which is why we had to repaint it. So this right here is gonna get covered up with the lip. The lip itself, you can see got all cracked up because I put the wrong clear coat on it and wasn't paying attention, and the clear coat reacted with the paint underneath and it freaked out on me. So I have to repaint that, not a big deal. I'd much rather repaint that than repaint the bumper, but look at that. That looks so good. Let me drop the hood real quick. We'll take a look at it, and then I'm gonna start getting these brakes done because it's getting kind of late in the evening. All right, there it is. That's what the car will look like. We are so excited for it. It looks so good. Way more aggressive than we were thinking. We have our fog lights in. We tinted those. The reason we do that is because if we want to, you can remove the tint. You can do a lighter tint, a darker tint. You can do pink, you can do yellow. So that's why we always get them clear, because then you can kind of have the opportunity to do whatever you want. This surround has been painted black. The grille was repainted black because it was all kind of like a sun faded gray. The other cool thing I want to talk about real quick is these. So they used to be reflectors, and on this car, we've actually wired them to the turn signals. So let's go take a look at those real quick. So I've got the hazards flashing. There's your side marker. We'll come around here to the front. So that's what those look like. I think it's a little overkill. I mean, you don't need to have that many turn signals there, but surprisingly enough, the ones that are reflective are actually kind of expensive. And these, I think these were either slightly cheaper or basically the same price. I'm like, oh, well, we'll just play with those and see how it ends up running. I kind of thought about running them with the fog lights. I mean, you can hook them up however you want. You can make it so that they don't turn with the turn signal, but they're on with the parking lights. I mean, you can hook them up to your high beams, your low beams. You can hook it up to a switch. You can kind of run them however you want, but I thought it'd be best to do the turn signal. So let's see if we can't see both of them at the same time. Maybe. Yeah, there you go, just a little bit. Anyways, I thought that was cool. It's a good update. The car is really starting to come together, I think, with this pink caliper paint and the fender vents that are coming eventually soon, and we'll get rid of this hole there. I think for right now I might put some vinyl up there, like a square of black vinyl, just to cover it up. But yeah, let's get this stuff painted. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I really appreciate everybody so much for watching. We're just gonna time lapse the rest of this. It's not anything crazy. Clean your calipers. The better you clean, the better you prep, the better your end result will end up being. And that's the same with any paint job. So keep that in mind. I really appreciate everybody so much for watching. Enjoy the time lapse.
Bam!